aware, and one does not sacrifice one's friends. I'm John Lienhardt at the University of Houston, where we're interested in the way inventive minds work.
A transcript of this Engines of Our Ingenuity episode number 2200 is online at uh.edu/engines. Additional episodes are available by podcast.
.8:50 a.m. Monday morning here on KSJE. Good morning, everybody. Time for our Monday Reboot segment, and that is when I get to talk technology with the one and only Lewis Campbell from Cintigy Computer Systems. He is standing by live this morning. Lewis, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
You bet. Good to see you and have you with us. And so what's been going on we haven't talked in a couple of weeks because of spring break. So what have you noticed technology-wise?
Well, you know, the biggest stories in the news now are still with the whole Russia-Ukraine situation, and there's a really interesting story coming out of that. When this all happened and Western countries pulled their support from the Ukraine, all the providers of cloud storage.
They pulled their support from Russia.
Yeah, I'm sorry, from Russia.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. All the providers of cloud storage also pulled their support from Russia, which meant that all the data that the Russian government was using and even Russian industry no longer was accessible, and they're limited to only storage space they have in the country. Well, what that means, what that turned into was, as of the 15th of this month, Russia only had 2 months of storage left for all of their data. You know, basically enough storage left to last them for 2 more months. So the Russian government's been trying to do a number of things. They've changed some laws inside Russia to allow more flexibility and companies and government agencies to use existing storage that they have, but basically they're just kind of up a creek. No Western government's going to allow them to use data storage facilities out of the country, and it's been pretty bad for them. I don't know what's going to happen in 2 months, but you know, that's kind of an interesting piece of information.
Right. Interesting. Very true. And of course, I know last time we were together we talked about Elon Musk's Starlink internet, which was being used in the Ukraine and Russia to connect folks to the internet to avoid some of the blocking, but to provide internet service in Ukraine to help with GPS and other types of things that the government military has been using over there when the infrastructure has been destroyed on the ground. But that's still being touted, I think, as being highly effective, right?
Yeah, it has been highly effective. Elon Musk, of course, in true Elon Musk fashion, also raised some concerns that, you know, his satellites might be attacked, right? The Russian government has the capability and may, you know, send something up there to basically blow his satellites up or take them down or whatever. That hasn't happened yet, but it's interesting to watch and see. And in the meantime, he's launched another 48 satellites. Again, NASA and other organizations are a little concerned about the Starlink system. So, you know, NASA issued some warnings and he launched the 48 satellites anyway. So there's that going back and forth as well.
Right. Very interesting. I did see another story too that I think Brazil had banned the messaging app. Was it Telegram? But then they reversed that after about 2 days because at first they banned it because of fake news, and then I guess they just reversed course and said, never mind. It's available now in the country of Brazil.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure what happened there, but I'm guessing that basically consumer backlash. It may, you know, I think that application is pretty big in that country, and so maybe consumer backlash forced them to turn around.
Right. Very interesting. All right. Anything else that you've noticed last week or so?
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Sure.
Where did this go?
You're keeping us in suspense.
Tesla, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Going back to Elon Musk, didn't mean to, but just happens to be. Tesla is looking at, is trying to make Steam video games work in its cars. Now, I'm going to pause there for a minute, because my thought is, huh? But
Yeah.
that's what they're doing. So, like, the article that I read had a mock-up photo, basically, with, you know, a menu of video games on the screen, like, you know, in your console, next, you know, in the middle of your console.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, what's the deal there? Are they hopefully they're not encouraging people to play video games when they're driving. I'm thinking that when the car is parked, they're maybe turning the steering wheel and everything into like a video game controller.
I guess if it's parked, I could go along with that.
Yeah, I would hope so. I haven't had a chance to dig into that too much. I just saw a very cursory article about that, but it made me pause. But you know, Tesla does some interesting things.
Right. Very true. All right. Well, we'll see what happens with that. But I know Mr. Musk has a lot of grandiose plans for his company, so we'll see if we can make them happen, right?
Yep.
All right. Very good. Lewis, thanks so much. Good to talk to you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great week.
You too. Thanks very much. That's Lewis Campbell, everyone, from Cintigy Computer Systems. He's my guest every Monday at this time when we talk about technology on our Monday Reboot segment on KSJE Farmington.
By the time they reached the White House, Rosalind and